Alright. Looks like we still have a couple of days here to get some stuff done. Let's see if we can get some more fuel on the go. Other than that, I'm pretty sure it is just working the scrap heap and seeing if we can dredge up some good parts. It's going to use up some energy, but that's fine. Raw scrap. Scrap components. Okay, so we can either get raw scrap, which is just like the basic stuff, or we can get scrap components. Alright. Alright, end the cycle. Oh. Thanks for coming up, Sleeper. Karman is waiting for you and Seraphim when you arrive at the med bay, looking a lot fresher. He leads you into a small alcove set up like an office, with an aging terminal and a simple welded desk, and a small window looking out across the dusty rock of Oliveira. Got some news for us? Seraphim asks impatiently. Since you arrived back from the manufactory, he has been restless. You aren't sure why. Not to worry, Karman grins slyly. I think you want to hear this. He hits a key on the terminal, and a file browser appears on the screen, showing hundreds of individual pieces of data. Ankita has been busy, Karman gestures to the screen. He's been scraping Utsubo communications, cycle after cycle. Got access to ciphers and encryption only the gang's leadership should be able to see. He smiles. Seems you've learned some tricks since we worked together. That's not what matters. What matters is the content of these messages. He taps a few keys and loads some of the data, which scrolls down the screen. Some parts of Utsubo leadership have been getting ideas. News about taking Greenbelt and controlling food production in the belt, and exerting power over Wellspring. Big ideas for a gang. But these Utsubo members aren't alone. They found themselves a powerful ally. Karman shakes his head. Senate stat. One of two corporations fighting a bitter battle for control of the inner system. A pernicious force, one that Utsubo are opening a door for in the belt. You can't be serious, Seraphim cuts in. You can't be that stupid. I don't know what to tell you. At least some inside Utsubo is trying to broker a partnership. Oh, Seraphim leans over to look at the screen. You don't need Karman's answer, and neither does Seraphim. Lane, Seraphim looks at you, shaking his head. It has to be Lane. Karman looks between you both. Seems like you already know something I don't. Lane's piece of shit Utsubo leader who thinks he owns us. Seraphim shakes his head. Exactly the kind of piece of shit arrogant enough to try to manipulate Senate state. Karman nods thoughtfully. My condolences. I'm starting to see how you cross paths with Ankita. You have a shared enemy then? Karman pauses, his face unmoving. I'm not sure you want this fight, Sleeper. Like I said, Ankita and I work together. To put it simply, we ran in the same mercenary outfit. Karman looks away. A lot has happened since then. But this message, this data, it's her calling in a favor. And I owe her, that's for sure. Karman shakes his head and pushes himself off from the desk, crossing the room to look out of the window at Oliveira's pale and airless surface. Hell, after what went down, I owe you both too. You look at Karman, staring out at the surface of this hostile rock, and wonder what he sees out there. He established the colony as a fallback, a retreat, not just for him, for others too. You get the feeling that Karman knows any retreat is only ever temporary. He turns back to look at you. And you, Sleeper? What will you do? I think the only thing I can do. We'll take on Utsubo. Take on a gang, Karman smiles. Are you sure about that? We're going to end lying, whatever it takes. Seraphim stares down Karman, fists balled. Karman looks at you. That one's gonna get you in trouble, he turns to Seraphim. But I like that energy. He looks back out of the window. This is not something we're gonna take head on. He shakes his head. Ankita sent us our weapon. Karman turns and gestures at the console screen, with its reams of incriminating data. Utsubo don't control all the Darkside. You only aspire to. They also claim to offer protection from the war between Senatstad and Conway. That presents us with an opportunity. Utsubo is full of members who'd rather die than concede Darkside to a corpo interest. If we play this right, Utsubo will end the lane for us. He smiles at Seraphin. Use your phrase. Alright, how do we do it? We can handle it. We've pranked Darkside once, we can do it again. Seraphin's confidence is infectious. Is that right? Karman seems to be thinking something through. He crosses to the console, back to the window, and then to the console once more. Alright, I'm gonna need some more time, but I can put this together. Karman nods at Seraphin. We'll need that energy, but you also need to be ready. If we rush this, it's not ending well, so I can wait. Karman turns his attention to you. We'll go from Greenbelt when you're ready. I have friends there who can help get that ship of yours into Darkside. Seraphin looks at you. We have our own preparation to make, but we'll be ready. Alright. Karman unplugs Enkita's drive and hands it to you. Take this, and get out of here. I don't want anyone finding this thing in my possession. You take it. The tiny drive, somehow heavier now than you know, it contains the key to exposing Lane. See you in Greenbelt, Karman. I'll see you in the Wheat Chief. Karman smiles to himself. They know me there. Just understand something. Karman's expression turns serious. You want my help on this? There's no way we can let it get back to the colony. Once you leave here, you're not coming back to Oliveira. Not until we're done. He meets your eye. He needs confirmation that you recognize the importance of this. Hey, we'll leave this cycle. Karman nods. Good. He goes back to the window to stare at whatever it is he sees out there among the dusty rocks. When you come back to the rig, Flint is waiting for you, leaning by the docking tunnel with a bag over their shoulder. They look up as you approach. Hey, Flint nods a greeting, appearing a little unsure. Going somewhere? Hope so. They smile. I know you've already done a lot for me, so I'm not going to push you or ask for your pity. They pause. You feel like they have been I know you've already done a lot for me, so I'm not going to push you or ask for your pity. They pause. You feel like they have been preparing this speech. Firstly, I owe you, and I want to pay you back. I can work, and I can fight, and I'll protect this ship and this crew with everything I have. Secondly, we come from the same place. Whether you remember it or not, that means something. It must. I know I'm not the easiest to get on with. I know you might have your reservations about having another sleeper on the ship. But, let them finish. I'm eager. I'm ready. I want to move on. I want to show my value. They pause. And well, yeah, I think that's it. You look at Flint. Their frames so much more damaged than yours. With a fire burning in their eyes makes them seem bigger than they are. Welcome aboard, Flint. A smile spreads across Flint's face, and look down to hide it. Thank you, they say to the floor. This'll work out. You'll see. Flint nods to you once more, then turns and glides down the docking tunnel towards the ship. As they do, two figures at the edge of the docking concourse catch your eye. You pause to look, shifting a little, and as you do, you recognize Cadence leaning in. Some words are exchanged, ones you can only guess at, and the other figure embraces Cadence and turns back to the ship. As Seraphin approaches, he ducks his head, passing quietly past you into the docking tunnel without a word. You take one last look out of the docks, but Cadence is gone. You idle a moment longer and feel that there's something... You take one last look out at the docks, but Cadence is gone. You idle a moment longer and feel that there's something, some presence, even in these empty bays. Something rare in all the belt that Oliveira has captured. But as with all things, you must learn to leave it behind. Well, we will leave it behind, but we're not going without a good meal before we go. That'd just be crazy. You strike up a conversation with the servers. They give you some extra food as well as a smile. We do need to get some stuff from the farm stacks. We're low on supplies. Let's see what I can get. And one more for the road. Perfect. Fully stocked. We'll feed the cat. Because we got, might as well. We haven't done that in a while. Now away we go. Okay. I'm gonna say we need to go up to Holmes Rock for one mission, so up to the scatter yards. Alright. What can I get done here? I do need to buy some more fuel. Now, what can I do for money around here? Can I actually do anything to get cryo? It appears the answer is no. I can't really do anything for money here. I mean, I can make some engineer components. Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. Perfect. Oh, hold up. This got a rare component? Alright. Good for now. I'm gonna go to Flotsam. I guess I do have to go to Flotsam, because I can't go through the irradiated zone. Confirm the vector. At the very least, I might be able to sell some scrap in Flotsam, I think. Or, no, it's Holmes Rock that sells very good for scrap. More fuel. Old Tekahe. Integrator's office. Alright, let's just make some cryo today. Raw scrap. Probably should. I think I can turn my raw scrap into processed scrap down in Bar Spindle. I'll go there to see if I can convert all that into processed scrap. Oh? You find yourself in the cockpit, alone, with Flint. They have a habit of entering a room so silently that you don't notice them arrive, or the reverse, leaving so silently that you turn around to find them gone. Right now, they hover expectantly at the corner of your vision, preparing to speak. You ever think about your original? The way they ask the question, you can tell they have been eager to ask it for a while. The person you're emulated from, I mean. The person who sold you to HazNav. Flint's expression doesn't betray any emotion. You feel you can detect some unknowable feeling whirling behind their eyes. I do sometimes. Sometimes I can't stop thinking about them, but who they were, and if who I am has anything to do with them. Flint looks away. Is my personality a product of being a sleeper, or simply a copy of theirs? Have I changed, or am I still identical to them? Does the emulation process, the loss of memory, the insertion into a frame, actually make us totally different people? What came through the process of emulation, and what was blocked? Flint's looking around the cockpit rapidly now, their eyes flicking from object to object as they speak. Are their memories still inside me, but cut off? Concealed? If I admit it, I wonder, do I even know what it feels like to be a person? The humans around me feel the things I feel? Do they feel more, feel less, feel somehow differently. They feel the creeping claustrophobia being trapped inside a body with no escape. Flint's eyes flick back to you. Only we know how that truly feels. I believe they do. I don't know if it's enough to just believe. Flint meets your eye. I want to know. You're the first sleeper I have met since my escape. We can find out together. You know what? Let's share our experiences with Flint. There is a wall in you, one that you have built for yourself, one that separates the kind of questions Flint is asking from the parts of you that you need to live. You feel it now, like a weight in your chest and behind. There's a raging torrent pressing against it. You cannot take down the wall. You would drown. But in this moment, for Flint and for yourself, you take out a single brick. You make a gap in the wall, and you share what comes bursting forth. You talk about what it feels like to wake up in a dying body, to catch a glance of yourself in a mirror, to be seen and reminded of your false and fractured face. You share the pain of lost memories, of fleeting deja vu, of dreams that slip beneath your waking life and replace it. You find in your broken bodies and unsteady minds a kind of solidarity, one shared between connected strangers who might, one cycle, understand each other as friends. As you put the brick back in and shore up your defenses, you know that cycle will not be this one, but its distant possibility is a reassuring one. It's always fun getting Flint. It's just fun to have these moments of connection. Because, like, being a sleeper is a very lonely experience. Alright, process raw scrap. The scrappers will process your scrap in bulk, pay you for the offcuts, and return you the processed plates. It's not a bad deal. You get a bit of cryo, and then we get some processed scrap we might be able to sell down at the hollow. I'll take it. The processed materials are sent over to your ship. You hope the result is worth something. Scrappers are their business, but they often have sorting and processing work for those who can spot corroded trash from valuable scrap. Can I get more raw scrap through doing a scrap shift? I'm not sure. Find out, I guess. I mean, 14 cryo's not bad. No, I'll just do a swing and get this done. You always gotta find work on the move when you're a sleeper. Ships cost cryo to run, and supplies also cost more. Alright. So, I need to go to the trade hall. Fill up on fuel, fill up on supplies. Alright. Oh, spindle view. So there's a thing I can do here as well. Well, I guess I'll just end the cycle and we'll have a day. See if we can get some fine sketches from Far Spindle. Oh. Got a message, sleeper. Seraphim comes to the bunk to get you, his mood unusually serious. He brings you to the cockpit, his keepsake coin in his hand the whole time, spinning between his fingers. Seraphim is worried. Once you're in the cockpit, you recognize Karman's voice immediately, playing over the rig's speakers. Sleeper, hope this message finds you and your crew safely. You'll forgive me if I'm a little tight on the details. My message is as follows. We're ready. We'll be waiting where agreed. Godspeed. Message ends with a click. So, Seraphim takes a deep breath. We're waiting in Greenville. The wheat sheaf, he said. Whatever that is. You ready for this? We need to prepare. Seraphim nods. No point rushing into this. We'll have one shot. Quiet falls in the cockpit. Doesn't seem to be much more to say. Karman will be waiting, but you know he will want you to be prepared. I'll be ready when you are, sleeper. Seraphim nods to you. You nod back. You know where you need to go to end this. Can we not explain to Karman that the reason we're delayed is I want to do collectible missions? As you draw, you wonder who added all the layers of paint, or so many cycles of texture. The spindle is a tower of mismatched painted panels. It takes time to take it all in. Painted hull plates, transit tunnels, and old ship frames give the far spindle its distinctive look. Action failed. Do one more try. Alright. We'll take a rest on the rig. The dice here are really bothering me. Like, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Like, they're just going to immediately break next time we go to a mission. But, like, I don't have any other missions I can do. So, like, I don't have a way of fixing my dice right now, because I need to be fully broken to do that. Alright. Painted hull plates, oh, I already read that before. Didn't give me anything new. Thought it might. Signal station. How much cryo do we get from this one? Yeah, 13. That's fine. Good enough for me. Alright. Let's grab some food from the guy. Buy some kelp cakes for the road. And now, on to our actual destination, Holmes Rock. There it is, the old relay. And that's what we're looking for. Alright, relay recycling. Pulling a clean array from the Solheim relay is a tricky job, especially given the state of the facility. Well, we got some pretty good skills for doing this. The arrays and the relays are hooked up to the old terminals. Safe disengaging these will allow clean extraction. No, lost some energy on that. That's fine. We managed to find a network controller for the terminals, allowing you to shut off multiple units at a time. I literally got as much progression as I could on this in a single day. Alright. End the cycle. Yeah, I can't do anything because my dice are like one away from breaking. They were fully broken, I could fix them. The fact they're stuck on one is just really annoying. An array has been extracted. Now I need to get it back to Kimball in the Hollow. Is there anything else I can do here? Ooh, 13 cryo for scrap. That's not that bad. Alright, let's buy some fuel. And we'll just earn some cryo, doing some regular array stuff. I'm kind of just doing some random stuff right now, try and finish up some drives and get some final experience points for the final mission. Because the Return to Darkside pretty much just is the final mission in this game. There's a couple things you can do after, but they're kind of epilogue stuff. You suck the broth through a straw. The soaked grains give a chewy texture to the fragrant soup. Good soup. Yeah, help Hellion dispatches, investigate Hexport, overthrow lane, repaint the rig. So Hexport is one of the things that we do after we overthrow lane. We can help the Hellion dispatches, and we can get the paint jobs for the rig figured out. Alright, now we jump to Green Belt. We fully ignore Karman for the moment. Because we're here for the Green Belt view. You pick a spot on one of the Greenfield's bridges in the cloud of floating leaves, the perfect place for sketching. So many leaves, so many patterns, all in delicate shades of green. Dappled light and shades of yellow and green make Greenbelt a unique place in all of the belt. Hold up. Upgrade my Intuit. I'm using it, so I might as well. Action failed. Just like that, another sketch complete. Fill my fuel. I don't think I can do anything during cryo on Greenbelt. The Wheat Chief is where I go to talk with Karman. So that is a later issue. So in that case, you're just going around again. We'll go to the Hollow. We have an important piece of equipment to drop off here. Kimball wants a powerful array from Holmes Rock to extend the range of the Hellion dispatches to the entire belt. We'll be right back, complete. Kimball needs components to repair the Hellion dispatches transmitter and get Cyrene back on the air. You wait in the makeshift Hellion dispatches studio as Kimball tinkers with the array somewhere in the back, behind the far wall. It's a humble setup. A stool for Cyrene, a microphone, a transmitter and mixer terminal, and the hard line snaking away towards the array. There's something pleasing about it, all the same. The crackling sound of fresh wells echoes through the bay from Kimball's concealed position. You hope the array you struggle to extract isn't getting fried as you wait. You're here. Good. Cyrene rushes in, holding a small dark rectangle in her hand. You will not believe what we have found here. She looks around the bay. Where's Kimball? Hopefully not frying another transmitter. You mean? Cyrene smiles. We're going back on air. Before you can answer, she leaps forward, grabbing you in a surprisingly firm hug. Cyrene lets you go. Sorry, she smiles. Just excited to finally be back. Kimball, she shouts towards the back of the bay. How long for that new array? A muffled shout comes from behind the rear wall. Okay, Cyrene takes a steadying breath. You have little time. What have you got there? This broadcast is from Erlin's Eye. Cyrene's eyes flash. We haven't heard anything out of them since the start of the war. Some people even said they'd fallen to the flux. But something is happening there. Something is growing. This report says some protocol has taken over the station, become its protector. Conway drones can't get close. Senate status giving it a wide berth. They're right in the middle of the war. Conway on the starward side, Senate stat on the sunward, and they're resisting. Cyrene smiles. We have to tell everyone in the belt about this. We have to get the word out. If the eye can be held, well, maybe we can hold out too. Cyrene looks at the drive in her hand. Either way, people need to know. The sudden clunk, a few percussive shouts from Kimball, and then a flickering of lights all across the bay as the transmitter and array begin powering up. You and Cyrene watch as the Hellion Dispatches studio comes to life, ready to broadcast once more. Not bad. Cyrene leans on your shoulder. Not bad at all. A shout comes from Kimball, and you know he is calling for Cyrene to get ready. That's my signal, she grins. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyrene produces a handful of chits. Turns out we have some avid listeners in the Radius markets. He deposits them into your hands. All right, Cyrene takes a breath. I need to go live. She flashes you a final smile. Thank you. I will make sure we make good use of that array. This will mean something. Kimball bellows something from the back of the room, something you can only assume is a thank you. You leave the Belt's most unusual double act to their broadcast. As you do, you hear Cyrene's voice echoing through the bay. This is Cyrene Sabir, back on the air, to wish you all a free Hellion, now and forever. Oh shit. Actually, that was a lot of cryo. Well, first things first. We do need to process scrap. Oh, there's plenty of raw scrap around, but high quality processed plate is a significant value here. 30 cryo! Okay, yeah, that's good. That is good stuff. I'll sell like that much. Alright. We'll buy fuel. I'll keep the last 5. I don't think I have any purpose for processed scrap, but I'll just keep it. I might need it. Like, I don't need any more cryo. Like, 600 cryo will probably see me fine for the rest of this game. However, I might as well work the signal ship. I have the stuff for it. Yeah, like, cryo just isn't even a thing to worry about anymore. I didn't realize processed scrap could sell for 30. Alright. Map. Our last stop is to head on up to the scatter yards and drop off those sketches. Sleeper! Surya booms as he meets you inside his yard. I couldn't be happier to see you. Tell me, did you find inspiration out there in our belt? He grins widely. I did. Let me see your work. He holds out a hand and you pass him the color slate. Lovely. He scrolls through the sketches. I will pass your designs on to my crews, where they will build on them. Surya gestures to the yard. They're the best ship fitters in all the belt, as you know. If you come to the yard and speak with them, you may choose whatever design you desire. Surya squints at the slate. This hollow drawing is really quite interesting. He reaches into his tool belt and produces a stack of chits. The remainder of your fee. Our business is concluded. He nods, adding a little bow to the movement. I am a busy man. I must get to my business. Thank you again for helping to build a legacy for my yard. Surya folds his arms across his chest. I believe you have work to see to. But imagine, if you will, flying out on your next contract in a fresh livery, a beautiful reinvention from Surya's yard. He gestures widely. When your clients ask why your rig is so beautiful, feel free to send them to me. Surya smiles, bows, and turns to leave. You watch Surya go, still unsure if his entire attitude is an act meant to confuse you into consent. He is a hard man to dislike. There's something about him you can't quite put a finger on. Either way, it's hard not to feel a little bit thankful for the chance he gave you to look at the belt with new eyes, even if it was while flying one of the most garish ships the belt's ever seen. And I was actually quite a fan of Surya's design. But I am more of a fan of the hollow paint color. Reflective panels and pale colors means a bright and elegant look. A little too clean for Surya's taste. Just like that, this is our new rig, sleek and chrome. I do enjoy that color palette. Alright, we'll fill our fuel tanks. We'll see if we can be able to make some more parts. Engine component fabricated. Sweet. Component fabrication failed. Let's see if the 5 does anything for us. Yeah, scrap component. I made some use of our dice. Right. Well, that's all those done. All let's do now is get back to Greenbelt. Alright, that is where I'm going to end it for now, though. We have done all of our final little bits of prep to prepare us for the final mission. Unfortunately, I am just stuck with my dice like they are. So... I'm trying to think what will happen. I think when my dice break, I'm going to get a permanent glitch, which isn't going to be too bad at the end of the game. Like, I can live with that. But, like, it's just not fun, man. I wish there was some way to fix my dice when they're in this state. Because, like, in this case, just everything is half broken. So, like, I can't really do a whole lot with it. But I hope you have enjoyed. This has been Citizen Sleeper 2. Next time I play might be the last time we play.